Yes, sir. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Silver Boys Podcast. Your favorite hosts in session, your favorite duos in session. I'm your host, Cam Silver.
And I am your co-host, Kyle Silver.
And Kyle, we had a lot of controversy going on over the weekend.
Oh boy, I couldn't wait to talk about all of this stuff,
Oh,
bro.
my goodness, man. So, first of all, I woke up real late that day because I just, for some unknown reason, decided to stay up the whole night, late last night. And I was sitting there debating with myself, like, trying to figure out who's going to be in, who's not going to be in. And finally got it. So for the college football playoffs, the teams that are in, number one team, Michigan, after beating Iowa, winning the Big Ten championship. After that, we got number 2, Washington, number 3, Texas, and number 4, Alabama.
Yes. Man, oh man. I remember waking up and seeing the rankings, and I was actually in shock. Genuinely in shock.
Yeah, I didn't think that. I had no idea that that they would pick Bama. I just didn't. It just didn't make sense to me at that point because Florida State is undefeated and everything, but the more that they went into it, I started to understand it a little more.
Yeah, because you see how I've never actually seen like the college football committee come out and talk about their picks as much as they have.
Oh, really? Like, no, because they've done this before.
They've done it before.
They do it all the time. Like, they've done this before. Because this isn't. I'm not. Though this probably is the wildest one, but there have been other snubs, other years.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
But this is probably the one where it's like, how are you actually really going to explain it?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, I don't know. I mean, like, I have it written down and everything, but
the reasoning that they give they had said because they had Florida State had struggled against Louisville over the course of the 3 quarters that they played,
which they did.
And they did, and they pulled away at the end of the 4th quarter, but and then you got to they took into account no Jordan Travis, and they didn't want another excuse me, TCU from last year happening again.
Correct.
Because of an undermanned squad going up against a SEC team,
which they're gonna have to see anyway.
Exactly. Which I'm not too mad about. Honestly, I'm not mad at all. Shout out, Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide.
That's what I was waiting
Roll Tide. What? They beat Georgia down. Let's go. Let's go. I was so happy. So I'm
trying to figure out where do I want to start because I do want to talk about Alabama because that right there, I have a lot to say about that. But I do have a little bit to say about the whole Florida State thing. So everyone is all outraged about it and stuff like that. All right, so let's put this into perspective. Strength of schedule. Alabama's 5th, Washington's 11th, Texas is 13th, Michigan is 33rd, Georgia's 37th, Florida State is 55th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? How the committee made its decision. So they look at conference champions, strength of schedule, head-to-head competition, comparative outcome with a common opponent, and other relative factors such as unavailability and key players, coaches, that may affect the team's performance throughout the season or likely, obviously, in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State, in that game against Louisville in the ACC championship, they averaged 3.7 yards per carry, but 2.6 yards per pass. If you really watch that game like I did, and I feel like I'm a madman for actually watching that game. Like, this shows how, crazy I am about sports.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the most, it was probably one of the most uninteresting games I've ever watched because there was just no control. No one had any type of control over the game. No one it was like nothing was sitting there in front of me where it was like, all right, yeah, Florida State, they belong. Obviously I would say that they belong, obviously just based off of their record, but nothing about how they played showed me that they belong. Like, yes, they have a great defense and everything, but we've seen both in college and the NFL, it's only so long that your defense is gonna hold up for you, especially in college. With how air raid everything is and how high powered everything is, you're gonna sit here and tell me that you would have Florida State going against Michigan and Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards in that run game?
No.
With Roman Wilson on the outside? No, probably not. You're not gonna sit there and you're not gonna want to have them against Texas.
No.
After what Texas has been doing to everybody. Yeah, they had their slip ups here and there, but overall, that's a strong team. You're not gonna do it against Washington. Even though Washington played a lot of close games,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? They still came out on top on that Pac-12 championship and showed everybody that yeah, we still have Oregon's number, no matter what you say.
2 times this season they beat Oregon. You can't leave them out. And they would do bad things to Florida State.
That was my
Michael
thing.
Penix would do bad things to Florida State.
That was my thing. Like how I viewed it was okay. Put them in a matchup against everybody. By the way that they looked over the last couple games from Florida to the ACC championship versus Louisville, they wouldn't match up against any one of them. Even against Georgia, that who they have to play in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
I still don't have them matched up against them like that.
No.
And guess what?
No.
Carson Beck is only a freshman, so he's for sure playing in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Their quarterback. Now, it's still, on the decision for like Brock Bowers and others to play because Brock Bowers, in my opinion, is the Rob Gronkowski of this tight end for like this class that could be coming out for drafts and everything. But yeah, no, like Florida State overall, without Jordan Travis, they just don't hold much weight anymore.
No, they don't hold no weight at all. I completely agree. You won't hear no disagreement from me. I respect the decision to leave them out.
Yeah.
It was just genuinely it was the right thing to do, just because of everything that's gone into the season, how they looked over the past couple of weeks.
Right.
Jordan Travis being out, like I said earlier. It's just shout out to them for going 13-0 undefeated though, because that's a very, very, very hard feat to accomplish. But there's absolutely no way in hell you could put them over Alabama after Alabama just beat the number 1 team in the SEC championship.
Yeah, no,
you can't do it. You just can't do it.
And Alabama, going to the Alabama-Georgia game, Alabama controlled that game. That was the thing for me. Alabama sat there and really controlled that game. Over the past couple of years, the last couple of years that Georgia has been winning that national championship, they have not been, you haven't really been able to run on Georgia.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Alabama was able to expose that. They were able to run on Georgia both with either Jalen Milroe or with their running backs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then after that, like it was just one of those things where every single time Alabama got the ball, it seemed like they were just walking Georgia down.
It was going down the field on them, up and down the field on them.
And I was sitting there, and my biggest thing that I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, that Georgia run is gonna come. That Georgia run is gonna come. And nothing. They couldn't sustain anything.
Never came.
Anything. And I remember this one play. I forgot what quarter it was in, but I think it was a third or fourth down. I want to say it was a third down, and Georgia's offense just looked like they had no idea what they were doing. They looked stagnant. They looked all over the place. They were trying to get the play in. No one knew where they were supposed to be. Bowers didn't know where he was supposed to be. Everybody's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
They call a timeout. Then that they get out of the timeout, they run a run play. Bama stops it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, that's when I kind of knew. I was like, all right, this is going to take a turn.
Bama was ready for that game.
Oh, yeah, Bama was way more than ready. Way more than ready.
He was ready to come in and show the world, hey, y'all think they number 1, 29 straight games?
Mm-hmm.
You know? No, watch this.
With his face.
Watch this.
David Pollock said, oh, yeah, Georgia's the new dynasty now? Okay, we'll see. Nick Saban said, okay.
No.
He should have never said that. He should have never said that to him in front of his face.
The amount of like hype that was going on before Georgia, during the season for Georgia, telling everybody they're a dynasty. Nick Saban, he ended all of that. Because now you can't say that no more. And you cannot say that no more.
And I know we don't really I don't know that they don't really give most improved players for throughout, in college and nothing like that from what I know.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, the most improved player in all of college is Jalen Milroe.
Jalen Milroe.
Go back. I want you guys, if you can, go back and watch his highlights from the Texas game in week 2 all the way up to that Georgia game. Look at how much he's changed.
A completely different player.
Bro, in the Texas game, he wouldn't even stand in the pocket for more than 2 seconds.
You're right. I know he would just get the ball, snap it, he just run.
He didn't see his first guy, he'd run. Because he just didn't, he didn't trust the offense. The offense wasn't him. I guess he didn't trust the offense you know what I mean? Like, he just didn't have confidence in the offense or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But then, after that whole USF debacle, he came back in. He was on it.
Mm-hmm.
He was on it. Him, offensive coordinator Tommy Rees, they just figured it out. And by the time they got to the Georgia game, they knew exactly what to do. And I think that, in my opinion, this is Nick Saban's best coaching job.
Yes. Yes,
This is
I
Nick
completely
Saban's
agree.
best coaching job
Because it's not.
because this by far was not one of his best teams.
I was just about to say that. Yep.
Easily, it's not by far like one of his best teams. I would say like a couple years ago, we can go back to like the 2021 team or whatever, the 2019 team. We can even go back even a little further than that. But yeah, no, this was one of his biggest challenges, and I'd say he achieved with flying colors.
Because think about how we were talking about Nick Saban in Alabama before the season started. They didn't know the quarterback. There was a lot of like question marks surrounding them
Because they had three quarterbacks technically.
and they were playing three quarterbacks up until like what week 3?
Until week 3, yeah. Until that whole USF debacle
exactly.
and how just basically the other two quarterbacks
couldn't do
together.
anything.
The other two quarterbacks together just didn't look as good as Jalen Milroe, even on his worst day against Texas.
So then that's how I think that's when Nick Saban knew, okay, we got something. And that's when Alabama knew, okay, we got somebody and we got something.
And the thing that I did not know about Jalen Milroe, I would say I knew about it, in the middle of the season, but the thing that you probably won't know about Jalen Milroe from that Texas game to the Alabama game is how strong his arm really is, and he's accurate too. He's accurate. Like the 4th and 31 against Auburn, he showed that. But other than that, like Georgia, bro, he just made the right plays at the right time. That's really
what you got to do against the number one team, though. Yeah. That's what you got to do.
Yeah,
and he did it. They did it.
That's what it was for me. He just made the right plays at the right time, I'm excited to see Alabama versus Michigan. That's gonna be a good one. We'll talk about that obviously later. And Washington versus Texas, that's gonna be another good one. I think that's gonna be a shootout too. So everyone obviously outraged about Florida State. I feel bad for them. Don't even get it twisted. Like I really do feel bad for them because they played their hearts out this whole season. 13-0. You can't you know what I mean. You can't diminish that, but I will tell you this, though. The 12-team playoff was supposed to start this year, but the Big Ten, the Pac-12, and you know who? The ACC voted against it.
Should have never did it. We should have never voted against it.
If you didn't vote against it,
your team would be in. Your team would be in.
Crazy, right?
Karma is something, ain't it? Karma is something, brother,
That's how
man.
it goes. That's how it goes, man.
Good Lord.
But let's move on. So, what's it called? On Monday and Tuesday, we had the NBA in-season tournament.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
Just to say that, I feel like at first all of us were kind of just sitting here trying to figure out what in the world is this. I know for sure Jack, our program director, just kept asking me, he's like, Cam, what is going on here? And I'm like, I'm not even going to lie to you, I don't know. but
you couldn't ask me either.
But we just going to go with the flow. And I tell you, just watching the games on TV, man, like it really is a playoff atmosphere out there. And watching so let's start let's just get into it. Look, the Pacers by the Celtics, and I told you this already. Tyrese Halliburton is the best point guard in the league.
Not Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton. Oh my God, that boy put on a clinic against the Celtics.
26 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds. He was 10 for 18 from the field, 5 for 11 from 3. Bro, that N1 3 that he had.
Oh my goodness. That boy is really something special. It's the pace he plays with. His it's that first step when he looks a little slow, but then he's going right into second, third, fourth gear.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch. We say the same thing about a De'Aaron Fox, but I don't know. Tyrese Halliburton doing that to the Celtics when everybody got the Celtics coming out the East pretty much. I would assume the Celtics were Celtics versus the Bucks, and we could have just almost got a little preview to that.
Yeah, I would say we would have basically just got that in Vegas. That's crazy.
But for Tyrese to come in and do what he did, man, he putting up my career numbers now.
And the funny thing is, he got off to a slow start.
Yeah,
and that first half, he was just chilling. Yes. The next thing you know, he said, "All right, word, let me turn this on."
Something I think he just couldn't breathe during the first half. That's what it was.
He what's it called? I know he was still dealing with his. I know he had a respiratory illness or something like that. He was still dealing with.
He said the training staff got him a little inhaler at halftime. That boy was ready.
He got in that oxygen.
That boy was ready. Right. That's all he needed. He just needed That's all he needed. That's it. Yeah, but no, shout out to him, man. Drew Holiday, you know, we look at him as a very staunch defender. We look at him as one of the best defenders in the league that could probably guard 1 through 3, 1 through 4 if you really wanted to. Tyrese Halliburton was putting that boy in a blender.
Yeah, him, Jaylen Brown, another good defender in my opinion. He didn't have much. He couldn't do much with him either. Yeah, no, Halliburton's just on another level. Then when he's playing with someone like Buddy Hield, Buddy Hield is literally if he gets 2 feet on the ground and he's set, you might as well put it in the book. It's gonna count. Miles Turner came in and did his thing.
Miles Turner
he came in and really did his thing. Bruce Brown, he fills in the spots. He fills in the crucial spots for them.
Yes.
13 points and 8 rebounds, also having 3 steals, and then you got Toppin with 12 points. So starting off, the whole starting five had more than 10 points. Put that out there. And then after that, you got 2 guys coming off the bench, and Neesmith and Mathurin both scoring. Neesmith had 14 points off the bench. Mathurin had 16 points coming off the bench. You know, like that's everybody contributed.
Everybody.
And that's the effect of Halliburton because they played that up and down pace, and everybody's basically just getting the ball. He's just giving it.
Running.
I'll never forget. You know, every time you get the ball, you know, if you really get the ball and you're on that pass rate, you go, who's running with me? People gonna start filling in on those lanes. So yeah, no, that's basically what it is. It looks like it's very easy to play with him too.
Yeah.
Because of that alone. So yeah, no, I love that.
He gonna make sure everybody eat even before he eats as well.
Even before, yeah. That's basically what he did in that first half.
Exactly.
But going on to the Bucks Knicks. Knicks, they put up a fight for a good amount of time until the Bucks basically just took over in that fourth and just pulled away. Randall is starting to come alive. He had 41 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, 14 from 19. I think he was like 9 for 9 from the field in the first half. So he did his thing. Brunson was 24. He had 24 points, 6 assists. He was off from 3 though. He was like 0 for 5. Barrett, he had 23 points. Hart had 11 points off the bench. But the Bucks looking alright, man.
The Bucks did what they were supposed to do.
Bucks looking alright, man. Giannis, with 35 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, 15 of 22 from the field. Lillard, after a slow start, he picked it up. He had 28 points, 7 assists, 8 for 13 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3. Michael Beasley, 6 for 10 from 3. Middleton, he had 14 points with 7 assists. Portis, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks off the bench, and then Cameron Payne, 12 points off the bench. So the Bucks are the Bucks are slowly but surely coming into form as well, and them making it to the semifinals, playing another game, especially against a Pacers division foe who they get to see 4 times anyway. It's really going to be good for them to keep going and keep their camaraderie together.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to keep gelling against like a young,
especially a young team like this. Yeah, who a Pacers team where I remember my dad coming in. Literally, he came into my room like right after that game. He was like, "Yeah, that's a team that you don't want to see." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure." Like, shoot, I looked like the Celtics didn't want to see them that day.
No, literally, exactly.
Want to see them at all.
Exactly.
One of my biggest surprises was the Pelicans and the Kings. I did not expect the Kings to drop this one.
Me either. I was quite shocked about that too.
Especially with someone like Zion not having the best game.
I know he did not have a monstrous game either.
But Ingram picked up the slack, 30 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 for 6 from the 3. Herb Jones, 23 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, which I was surprised about right there. 3 for 5 from 3. Valanciunas, 18 points, 11 rebounds. Let's see who else. McCollum, he just came back. He's in effect. 17 points, 7 assists, 3 for 5 for 3, and then Trey Murphy coming off the bench for 16 points, which was huge for them. And then the Kings are just off. Sabonis did his usual 26, 13, and 10. You got Fox doing his usual, his 30 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and Monk coming off the bench doing his thing with 21 points and 5 assists. But yeah, other than that, the Kings just were not there.
It was a good overall team win for the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep them advancing too. We just talked about Milwaukee's camaraderie that big for the Pelicans to have that too. Really coming together, really fighting for something. And albeit just a cash prize, but cash is cash, brother.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
Really, really big win. Even given that Zion didn't have a great game, they don't need Zion to win. is what they can show.
Yeah.
And what they kind of have been showing, honestly. But once you put Zion in that lineup, like they should be top five.
Right.
Honestly,
Correct.
As a team, they should be top five.
Correct. And then you got the Suns and Lakers. That was a game.
That was a game.
That was a game. Bron went off. Bron still to this day. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's doing it.
It's actually like inspiring to see.
Yeah.
And just jaw dropping. This man is 39 years old. Birthday later this month.
Yeah. Yeah, he's bugging out. And then you got Davis coming in with 27 points, 15 rebounds. He could have had more points. He was missing a lot of chippies, a lot of little gimmies in there. But Reeves came in off the bench, 20 points and 6 rebounds. He was balling.
That was the key to the game. Austin Reeves coming in off the bench and doing what he could do against that second unit and everything.
Yeah, he was balling. And then after that, even coming in and still putting in work against the first unit too, which was pretty good too. KD, 31.7 rebounds. Booker, he's still coming back into himself, 21 points, 11 rebounds. The big contributor for them was Grayson Allen with 21 points. He was balling, especially in that third quarter for them on that comeback. But I'm very excited to see what happens Thursday tonight, technically, and then the championship night on Saturday.
I got Lakers Bucks. Lakers Bucks.
Okay.
Lakers Bucks.
Okay. Yeah,
LeBron he's just doing way too much for them to lose right now.
Yeah, no, he's bugging out, and then as long as AD still shows up, and then as long as they have somebody else on their side,
all they need is another person,
Austin Reeves, whoever it is, Cam Reddish, whoever it is, as long as they come into play, they'll be way more than fine. But that's our episode for the day. Just a couple of other key things. Dylan Harper just committed to Rutgers, number 2 recruit in the class of 2024. He'll be playing along with Ace Bailey and others, so that's very huge. Now, Rutgers is number 3 in terms of recruiting class in the country, coming up for class of 2024, which is amazing. So
Jersey up.
Yeah, man.
Jersey up.
You can feel the tension now. It's lit in here. So that's awesome. Some other things, going to the NFL real quick. We said our biggest game was the San Francisco 49ers and the Eagles, and the 49ers said, this is the biggest game. We'll show you why it's the biggest game. Because we're going to beat the brakes off of them boys, and that's exactly what they did.
That's all they did.
That's exactly what they did. And wow, that's all I can say. Wow, if the 49ers just end off healthy, they're more than likely the favorite to win it all. Easily. But I'm very excited to see where that NFL season will go on from here with the playoff hunt and everybody fighting for that.
Fighting for a spot. Home field advantage and all that. Yep.
But you already know the deal. Till then, I'm your host, Cam Silver.
I'm your co-host, Kyle Silver.
And this is the Silver Voice Podcast. We will see you next week.
Have a good one. Thank you.